Hello, you guys. This is obviously very different than my normal content, but I just really felt like it was important for me to kind of sit down in this podcast style and really talk to y'all and discuss kind of what's going on and what's been going on and where we're going from here. Um, so let's just get started. The last few months have been very, very chaotic. Really, since the beginning of the year, it's been absolutely insane. My growth, quote unquote, online, my career, my personal life, everything has just been like going, 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 and it's been amazing and stressful. And obviously, I do share a lot of stuff online. I'm pretty open. I try to keep it mostly professional, though. I mean, obviously, I share a lot online, but it's in 60 seconds to 3 minutes long of content. And this next chapter needed a little bit more explaining, I feel, than I normally do. And honestly, there are just sometimes that there are things that I actually want to talk about with y'all that I just don't feel like is like the TikTok reel of it all and is a little bit more serious. And I'm sure so many people are like clicking in and clicking out of this, but to me, it just felt important. A big thing that I'm told a lot on why people do enjoy watching my content, there's a fly. Something I'm told all the time on why people do enjoy watching my content is that they feel like I am real. So I have people who see my content online, my voiceovers, all of that kind of stuff, and then they book an appointment with me and they're like, wow, you're really just like this. It's a lot easier to keep up with when I'm not pretending to be something that I'm not, obviously, but I can't explain everything all the time in short form. So that's kind of what this is. Now, I don't think that this is going to be kind of normal content for me from this point forward, but there are two main things that I kind of wanted to come on here and discuss. So let's kind of just start and get into it. First of all, yes, my hair is black again. Obviously, I pushed out these step-by-step DIY color remover videos, and I it really was fully my intention to start the gray blending process. So I don't want any of y'all to think that I was scamming for views. I wasn't. It really was like fully 100% what it was supposed to be. So, we're gonna do kind of like a tiny little recap. I am about 70 to 80% gray all throughout my hair. I have been going gray since I was 18, yada, yada, yada. You guys already got that whole story. I started to think, like, okay, it's time for me to just let my grays go. Like, why not? Be natural with it. Let my hair heal and become healthy again. And so I was like, okay, I talked to one of my friends who's also a hairstylist and was like, will you help me do the color removing process? And she was like, yeah, of course, just tell me what you want. Obviously, I'm also a professional hairstylist, so I thought I knew what I wanted and how I wanted it to be done, but I'm also just a girl, and things kind of went a little haywire on my part. So I took my extensions out and I started doing the CPR treatments and stuff to do the color remover. Wasn't the hugest fan of it, so then went into the Joico color remover and basically like pre-lightened my hair. I finally got orange, which I believe is the last part that you guys saw. I knew removing permanent black was not going to be easy, and by no means did I think that. But I had a full foil hair appointment booked, and that's kind of where I'm like, okay, this is where the blending's gonna start. We're gonna do full foils. I'm gonna lift to a pale yellow, hopefully, and then we'll tone it all like a silvery gray to help just with the blending process. I told my friend, my hairstylist friend, hey, I'm thinking about what if I just did like a full platinum card on my hair instead, so that once we can foil, we're not going to have to counteract with low lights all of the orange that would still be in my hair. I mean, you leave hair out in a foil. And she was like, okay, if that's what you want to do. I do feel as if she was more of like, if I don't do it, you're gonna do it. And she didn't want me to do that. So I was like, cool, let's completely bleach my hair. And we did. My hair did start melting a little bit in the back. She started freaking out, and I was like, it's fine, just push through. I knew that we were going to have to cut my hair. Unfortunately, the porosity of my hair, and if you don't know what that means, my hair was super, super, super dry. And when it gets that dry, it's just gonna suck in all of the color with a toner, okay? So we tried to kind of ash it down. I got to about a level 8, and we were like, okay, let's just add a little bit of like a neutral ash to your hair, and you'll be like this darker, cool tone blonde, basically. My hair turned green. And again, let me just say, just to be very clear, it was not the hairstylist's fault. It was mine. I was the one who was telling her what to use, what to put on my hair. Like I should have thought of that. It is what it is. It happened. My hair turned green. So then we ended up just putting some red over, like a 5 RV. And I think I have some pictures. I don't know. I didn't really take a lot of pictures of my hair, but I'll insert them in here if you're interested in what it looked like. By the time about a week later, my hair obviously started fading already because the color was just washing out. It was like putting a band-aid on a bullet hole. Like it wasn't actually doing anything. My hair was super dry and damaged. I did get the blunt bob, and I was like, hell yeah, we're gonna have a little blunt, like cunty bob. That's fine. Well, you guys, I couldn't do it. Like, I could not have my hair be this weird shade of orange because of my own choices. And of course, during all of this, something else was going on that I felt was making me feel like a fish out of water. I mean, I obviously didn't go through all of that and put my hair through all of that thinking like, oh, I am just gonna go black again, but it happened, and there was kind of a reason why it happened so quickly. This is not going to make sense to so many people, and that's okay. But while this was all happening, I was having a bit of a identity crisis in my career. A lot of people don't know this about me, and I am going to get a little vulnerable. I used to be in law enforcement. I was in law enforcement for about 4 years. And then when I decided I was going to leave, I started my own business, started refinishing furniture and cabinets. So I have my contractor's license. And that's basically what I did to be able to financially be able to afford to leave law enforcement. It was really, really hard. It was a very hard decision to do that. And I only was a contractor for about 7 to 8 months. And during that time, I ended up doing one of my best friend's hair. And I was like, what if I went back to cosmetology school? Now, again, I did post about all of that. I posted about how I went to cosmetology school 13 years ago now and how I've done all of these things on the in between. There's a reason why I'm talking to you about this. And it really boils down to the fact that next month, September, mid September, I have been a business owner. I have owned my own business. I owned my refinishing business, and then I went into the beauty world. And for a short time, I did have a co owner for one of my beauty businesses, and then I left that. I had Moberly Beauty, and then it has now transitioned into House of Mo. I think over the last 2 or 3 months, I have realized that just because I can do something doesn't mean it is the best thing for me. And that is a really hard thing for me to realize and for me to admit. So let's kind of talk about being an independent hairstylist. I am the hairstylist. I'm the receptionist. I'm the marketing department. I'm the social media editor. I'm the manager who orders inventory, my bookkeeping, all customer service, obviously, cleaning, content creation, and owning the business. So going all through state taxes, federal taxes, LLC versus S corp, all of the things. So that entails that when I'm not doing hair actively, the business is still having to be ran. Things need to be restocked. My videos need to be edited. I need to make sure that my books are getting filled. I need to make sure that I'm answering all of my inquiries. I have, my actual salon service side of things, but I also have House of Mo Bridal. I think for me, having to admit that I am not loving that side of this has kind of diminished me a little bit. So, I mean, and just to be very honest and real with you guys, the financial responsibility of it all is so incredibly stressful. I can have an amazing month making money that I would never ever imagine. And then it seems as if all of it goes away. So I'm looking at my books during my best busiest months being like, wow, I did that, like I made that amount of money, but in reality I'm making 20 to 30% of that. That is not financially sustainable for me. On paper my business is doing so well. I think I've reached a point where I don't want my entire career to feel like everything depended on me doing absolutely everything. I am a mom of three. I am a wife. I have two dogs, a bunny. Like, I have an entire life outside of work, but I don't feel like I have any life outside of work. I'm at my friends, I'm responding to things. I'm at a school event for my children and I'm having to make sure that video posted correctly. I'm having to keep up with brands. I'm having to keep up with every new fucking toner formula that somebody wants to throw a crazy name in. And making sure I have the shades in my suite because people are going to come in and ask for the toffee double mocha hair matcha color. I have spent so much time and energy trying to build House of Mo, and I will always be so, so proud of that. But along the way, I have left behind building Morgan. I want to be an incredible hairstylist. I want to be a hair educator. I love sharing my content. I love being a little content creator with my 35,000 followers. Like, I love it. I want to build me, build my career, and also have opportunities outside four walls, the four walls in my suite. And honestly, not just for work. I want to build a life with my family where I feel like my career supports our lives instead of our life constantly having to support my career. Now that I said that, I am leaving my salon suite, and it was such a hard decision. I knew I was going to get emotional. That's why I have barely any makeup on right now. Initially, I felt like I was failing myself and my business and my family because in the beauty industry, there's this kind of unspoken narrative. You go to cosmetology school, get your license, do all that fun stuff, and then you go into a salon and you learn and you're an apprentice, and then you move up to a stylist and you move up to a signature stylist and blah 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 blah, and then a master stylist eventually. You build your clientele and then you move to a suite because you have the clientele and you're doing so well and you don't need the overhead, or you don't need the commission salon anymore. You don't need the booth rent. You want your own space. And then if you go even farther than that, you open a salon. And it happens all the time. And so many people do that that it's almost become the normal. Like, independence is immediately the top goal. So for me, I didn't even go that route. I started my business while I was going through cosmetology school. I did bridal hair and makeup on the weekends. I went to school 3 days a week for 10 hours a day. And then on the weekends, I was able to work. When I left cosmetology school, immediately I went into a salon suite and I started building my clientele there. And then I moved to Nashville into a salon suite, started building my clientele there. That's when the social media started picking up and I started getting so many new clients and money was being great. And I was a part of a glam team, but I'm no longer a part of that glam team. And things were just moving really quickly and really excitingly. And I was so proud of myself. And I still am fucking proud of myself, you guys. Like, I am so proud of myself. And this all kind of ties back to me leaving the police department. It was so hard and so straining and so sad. And I felt like I failed again at that point, when in reality, it was the best decision of my entire life, no matter how hard it was at that time. I have realized for myself, success doesn't mean that I have to be doing everything by myself. I own my business. I do all of the things, and I can continue to do it, which I know so many people are probably thinking that, oh, she just can't do it. I can. I've been doing it. I make it happen. I do the things that I need to do. I work as hard as I fucking can all the time. I can make it be sustainable, but I don't feel like it is worth the time for the profit for myself right now. I know I can be wildly successful no matter where I'm at. And that might come off as cocky, or that might come off like I'm fucking think so highly of myself. I don't care. I know one thing for sure about me. I can work fucking hard and I enjoy it. To me, the things that I want is, I want to build a clientele. I want to be able to get into education, not only being an educator, but also receiving education. I want to do extensions. I want to continue doing bridal. I want to build my social media. I want to build my platform. And I know I can do all of that with a team behind me. And you know what? Somebody else can fucking worry about the inventory. Right now, I feel like I don't get outside education, not because I can't, but because I have to work. If I take a day off to do an 8-hour course, I'm not making any money. I'm spending money to do that. Everything revolves around me being in salon or at on location for a wedding. Everything. My entire work is focused on that right now. I think realizing that I'm not burnt out on doing hair. I love doing hair. And honestly, this career shift that I had 3 years ago saved my life. But what I am feeling is that I am burnt out on owning my own business. I am tired. And that's just the most honest way I can put it. I am fucking tired, you guys. And honestly, being that tired has made me realize I don't want to own a salon right now. I want to be a hairstylist and a makeup artist. And once I was able to say that out loud, it was like, I can breathe. Like, it is okay that for right now, I'm not wanting to do all of the behind the scenes, that I want to be able to perfect my craft and grow and be around like minded people. And I'm not going to get that in my tiny salon suite. The craziest part about all of this, too, is that I have found somewhere that made this transition feel so divinely chosen for me. They made my decision into this feel so easy and like just shocking to me how everything aligned so perfectly. So, a few of the new things is I'm going to be in a salon, an actual salon, like a real open floor plan salon. I'm going to have a team environment. I'm entering into it as an experienced stylist. Color extensions main focus there. They have same day hair, which I have been secretly behind the scenes been trying to figure out how I can make that happen in my suite, and they have it. You can come in and get color matched and get hair. There is also a dedicated makeup area. There's a bridal suite looking room. It is absolutely gorgeous. It has 5 chairs in it. They also have their own wedding glam makeup team. They do events. They have so many opportunities. They have a contract with cheerleaders at our NFL team here. They have a marketing director. They have a social media director. They have everything that I would love to be able to pick the brains of other people and learn and build and do better at. And I am still able to maintain my own bridal work. The thing is that I wasn't looking for somewhere to start over. I was looking for somewhere that would allow me to bring everything that I have, everything that I've built, and have all the support around it too. Meeting with them, I went in for my interview and sat there for 2 hours talking to them and just have been so blessed on everything that's happened. I feel so wanted by them. I feel so supported, and I can't even explain it. Like, I have been able to wake up this last week and just know and feel so confident in my decision. So, I have decided to take a signature stylist position at Berry Hill Beauty here in Nashville. I absolutely love the salon space. It is such a vibe, and I just cannot wait to start there. I actually start tomorrow. The day after I'm filming this. But it's really, really cool to know that, like, I get to start to focus on Morgan, on building Morgan, on being me, still having House of Mo, but being Morgan. I am so insanely proud of House of Mo. I am proud of what I've built and how I've gotten here and the decisions I've made and everything in between. And taking a step back from all the logistics behind it doesn't erase anything that I've built. I think we have this misconception of that growth means adding more, doing more, being more, adding more to your plate. But sometimes growth is realizing that I don't have to do everything. Like, I don't actually want to carry everything. Right now, I want to do really good fucking hair. Y'all, really good hair. I want to do makeup. I want to be an artist. I want to create, and I want to build myself. And also, I want to be able to go home and be with my family and be a part of my family and not be constantly working even when I am home. And for the first time in a long time, I can kind of see what that's going to look like and be so excited about it. And I do want to say this. House of Mo didn't fail. I didn't fail. I built something I'm really fucking proud of. And I do think that there is something really powerful when I look back and think, I can look at this, at something I worked so hard for, and say, I did this. I built this. I proved to myself that I can do it. And I don't want this version of it anymore. I don't have to spend the next few years wondering if I can get into a salon, if I can open up my own salon. I know I can run a business. Right now, I really want to see how far I can take me. So, yeah, my hair is fucking black again. I'm leaving my suite. I'm joining Berry Hill Beauty. I'm still doing wedding. I'm still doing extensions. I'm still doing hair, and I'm still creating. I'm just going to be doing it a little bit differently now. So yeah, I guess you can kind of take this as episode 1 for whenever I need to kind of just sit down and vent and want to talk to y'all about stuff. Maybe next time it won't have to be so heavy or emotional or whatever. Like, I don't know if I'm going to keep sitting on my couch in my house and like trauma dumping on the internet or getting emotional, but I do kind of like it. I mean, if you guys like it, just let me know and we can do kind of a little bit more of these here and there. And I can talk about literally anything. I really don't care about what anybody wants to talk about. Like, I'll talk about it. I'll let you know my experiences. My life has literally no shortage of chaos and shit I can talk about. So, thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me, and no matter what I do. I mean, every version of me and new chapter, and every time I decide to make a huge change in my life, I'll see you guys at Berry Hill. Bye.